If you're trying to grow your business online, it often feels like, well, like you're just wading through this endless stream of digital marketing noise.
Oh, absolutely. Information overload. Everyone seems to have the answer.
Exactly. And that's why today we're doing a deep dive. We're really focusing in on what feels like one of the most crucial decisions you'll probably make.
Duchess.
Choosing the right digital marketing agency. The one that can actually help you hit your specific goals.
Yeah, that's a big one. And we've looked at some really solid material that kind of breaks down how to approach this whole thing.
Right.
It's definitely not about just getting impressed by, a slick presentation. It's more about figuring out what you really need and then find a partner, someone who can deliver, real tangible results.
And that's exactly what we want to help you, our listeners, do today. So by the end of this, hopefully, you'll have a much clearer picture of how to pick an agency that really fits with what you're trying to achieve online.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe the basics. Like, why even hire an agency in the first place?
Yeah, that's fundamental.
Yeah.
The sources we looked at really hammer home just how complex digital marketing is now. So much more than just, placing a few ads.
Right.
We're talking SEO, getting found organically, creating content people actually want to engage with, running performance campaigns that actually convert.
And email funnels, social media branding.
Automation to tie it all together is huge.
It really is a whole ecosystem, isn't it? And the material points out trying to be brilliant at all that stuff internally. It can just spread your team incredibly thin. Your time, their energy.
And your budget. Don't forget the budget.
But definitely the budget. You might think you're saving cash keeping it in-house, but are you actually missing out on growth because you don't have that specialist knowledge in key spots?
That's the key point. A specialized agency, they can be a real game changer. They've got teams, right? People who are deep in SEO or experts in paid media or content strategy gurus.
They live and breathe this stuff.
Exactly. They're always up to date on the latest algorithm changes, the newest ad platforms, best practices. That focus often means, faster results and just better effectiveness than maybe a generalist internal team can manage.
Plus the scalability aspect you mentioned.
Yeah, crucial too. As your business grows or your needs change, a good agency can just scale up or shift focus with you. Much easier than constantly hiring and retraining internally.
Okay. So let's say someone listening is convinced. They're thinking, all right, an agency makes sense. How do they actually pick the right one? The material we reviewed lays out some key factors.
It does, several critical points. And the first one they really stress is industry experience.
Why is that so vital? Beyond just the obvious, I mean.
Well, what's really insightful here is how that experience helps. An agency that knows your sector, say education or tech, or maybe service businesses, they bring this built-in understanding of your audience. They know the typical customer journey, what marketing funnels actually work, the KPIs that genuinely matter for you.
So they're not starting from scratch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the source mentioned education, understanding how the academic calendar impacts campaign timing. That's huge for enrollment drives. Get that wrong, and you've wasted a ton of ad spend.
Right. That kind of nuance saves you time and money. You don't want to be paying them to learn your industry basics on your time.
Precisely.
Okay, so industry experience is number one. What's next? The source talks about service breadth. Full stack versus niche.
Yeah, this is about matching the agency's offering to your specific needs. You've got to be honest with yourself first.
What do you mean?
Well, are you basically starting from zero? Do you need the whole package, SEO, ads, maybe branding help, a new website?
Okay.
If so, then maybe a full stack agency, one that does a bit of everything, might be the most efficient route.
But what if you've got some parts covered?
Right. If you've already got, say, decent SEO, but you really need help cracking paid social media ads, then maybe a niche agency, one that only does paid social really, really well, could be smarter.
So the first step is knowing yourself. Clarify your objectives before you even start looking.
Absolutely critical. Know what you need before you shop.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, portfolio and results. This feels like a big one. You need proof, right?
Oh, it's non-negotiable. Any decent agency should be eager to show you their past work. But don't just look at pretty designs.
What should you look for?
Concrete evidence. Actual results. Ask for detailed case studies. Look for quantifiable growth metrics. Did they increase leads by X%? Improve ROAS? Show me the actual ad performance data.
not just vague testimonial.
Exactly. And ideally, find examples from clients in industries similar to yours. That gives you a much better sense of what they can really do for you.
Okay, show me the numbers. Good mantra there. What about the tech side? The material mentions the tools and tech stack. Why is that important?
Because in today's world, marketing is data-driven. The tools an agency uses are fundamental to how effective and efficient they can be.
Like Google Analytics.
Yeah, but it's more than just reporting traffic. A good agency uses GA to find weak spots on your site, figure out why people are leaving, and suggest data-backed fixes to boost conversions. Or tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs
Yeah.
for SEO. They're not just checking rankings, they're analyzing competitors, finding content gaps. Then there's marketing automation, like HubSpot or Marketo.
Right, for nurturing leads automatically.
Exactly. Being proficient with these modern tools lets an agency analyze stuff better, spot opportunities faster, and ultimately scale your efforts much more intelligently.
So it's not just having the tools, it's knowing how to wield them effectively for your business.
Precisely. Expertise matters more than just access.
Okay, now something super crucial for any relationship, communication and transparency.
Absolutely vital. You need to know upfront how they operate. How often will you get updates? What will those reports look like?
Will it just be a data dump?
Yeah. Or will they actually provide strategic insights? Explain what the numbers mean for your goals. A good agency is transparent about their process, their results, even about challenges.
No hidden surprises.
No. Regular, clear, honest communication builds trust and keeps everyone pulling in the same direction.
Essential. Okay, speaking of trust and clarity, the final key factor mentioned is contracts and pricing. What should listeners watch out for here?
This needs careful review. Be wary of hidden fees tucked away in the fine print.
Sneaky.
And watch out for super long contract terms. You don't want to be locked into something for years if it's not working out.
Right, flexibility is good.
Look for straightforward, fair pricing, easy to understand. Ideally, maybe even performance-based models.
Where they get paid based on results.
Exactly. Like maybe a portion of their fee is tied to hitting a certain lead target or ROAS goal. It shows they have skin in the game, confidence in their ability to deliver for you.
That makes sense. Shared risk, shared reward.
Bottom line, make sure the terms are clear, reasonable, and fit your comfort level.
Excellent advice. Now, the material we've been drawing from also gives an example, right? It looks at how one specific agency, YSP EDUCORP solution, presents itself.
It does. And it's useful just to see how an agency frames these factors from their perspective.
So what's their angle?
Well, what's interesting is their big emphasis on partnership. They don't just want to be a vendor. They position themselves as being truly invested in the client's long-term success, building something together.
Okay, and how do they claim to stand out? They mentioned tailored strategies.
Yeah, they make a point of saying no one size fits all. Every campaign is supposedly custom built around the specific brand's vision and goals.
So less cookie cutter, more bespoke.
That's the idea they're selling. A deeper understanding of each client's unique situation.
They also talk about in-house execution for content, creative, ads, analytics. What's the benefit there, according to them?
Their argument is control and consistency. By handling everything internally, they believe they can keep the brand message tighter across all channels and maybe make the whole process smoother, more integrated. Centralizes accountability too, potentially.
And obviously, given their name, YSP EDUCORP, they lean heavily on their expertise in education and edtech.
Right, which links directly back to that industry experience point we discussed. They explicitly mention working with universities, coaching centers, and marketplaces.
So they're saying, we get this world.
Precisely. They claim that focus gives them that deeper, nuanced understanding needed in the education sector.
They also mention transparent communication. Seems like they have a structure for it.
Yeah, they talk about weekly sync calls, monthly reports, a dedicated strategist for each client. It suggests, at least on paper, a commitment to keeping clients in the loop.
Proactive communication.
Which, as we said, is key for trust and collaboration.
And finally, results. They cite some numbers.
They do. They mention achieving things like a 3x return on ad spend or 10x growth in organic leads. And they also stress building long-term client relationships.
Of course, anyone considering them would need to verify those claims.
Absolutely. Ask for proof, talk to references. But by putting specific numbers out there, they're trying to show the potential value. And the focus on long-term ties suggests they're aiming for sustainable growth, not just quick wins.
Okay, so looking at YSP gives us a concrete example of how an agency might address these key selection factors. Now, stepping back, As our listeners are processing all this, what are the really crucial questions they should ask themselves before signing on the dotted line?
Yeah, the material boils it down to some core reflections. First, does this agency really get my business goals? Not just marketing goals, but business goals.
A deep understanding.
Second, do they have the right mix of skills? Both the creative side, the ideas, the content, and the technical chops to execute and measure effectively.
The art and the science.
Exactly. And finally, do I see them as a genuine long-term partner? Someone invested in my growth, not just completing the next campaign task.
Are they thinking strategically with you?
That's the essence of it.
Yeah.
Are they committed to your sustained success?
Those are powerful questions. It really drives home that choosing an agency isn't just outsourcing work.
No, it's forming a strategic alliance. It's a significant investment in your future.
And like any big investment, it deserves real thought, real due diligence.
Absolutely. If you carefully evaluate agencies on their industry track record, their service mix, their proven results, their tech skills, how they communicate, and the contract terms, you're just putting yourself in a much stronger position.
Right, to make a choice that actually propels you toward success.
Exactly.
So, wrapping this up, the main takeaway really is, do your homework. Selecting a digital marketing agency needs thorough investigation. Don't rush it.
Dig into their background, what they offer, what they've actually achieved for clients like you, the tools they use, how they talk to you, and what that contract really says.
Take your time.
Consider this deep dive a starting point, maybe a checklist. Now it's up to you, the listener, to apply these ideas to your own search for the right agency partner.
And maybe one final thought to leave you with. As you're evaluating agencies, look beyond just the list of services they offer, what they do. Think really hard about their underlying philosophy, their approach. How does that align with your vision for growth? What kind of partnership are you actually looking for? That alignment, that might be the real secret sauce for long-term success.